Welcome to Success Theory, and welcome to 7 reasons why you should study philosophy. And not just study philosophy once, but study it your whole life. This episode is going to be a webinar style episode as I travel through these 7 points. And if you hang on to the end, I will discuss how I've used these ideas in my own life. To open up this episode, I wanted to frame everything with this quote from William Ralph Inge. The object of studying philosophy is to know one's own mind and not others' people's. This is a great framing for philosophy in general. You never stand in the same river twice. You're always learning, you're always growing, you're always getting better if that's the direction you're headed in your life. And if you were to pick up any philosophy book, let's say Marcus Aurelius Meditations, once every 5 years, you would get dramatically different lessons from those readings. The same goes for my own guide that I have recently written, and I'll put the links below to that for you guys to check out. Tactical Stoicism, 21 Struggles That Became a Success. This guide is my own personal journey with Stoicism, and if you want to start somewhere with philosophy, this is a great place to start. Check it out in the links below. Reason number 1 why you should study philosophy your whole life and not just once. Better thinking. The basics of philosophy teach us logic. And with this logic and with this understanding of the world, you're able to understand and recognize arguments better. You can see where people are coming from. You can understand what fallacies those people might be using, their lack of argument or their strength of argument. You'll be able to spot that by reading and understanding different types of philosophy. And philosophy does touch on a little bit on psychology. It does touch on a little bit on human nature. So you are learning these ideas and these lessons while you read the lessons from the philosophers from any time period. You will also see what assumptions people will carry. You can really deeply see into where someone's coming from and where their worldview is just by studying a number of different philosophies. Philosophy really does give you many systems to think with. There's very technical philosophy, there's out there kind of conceptual philosophy, and then there's really tactical, you can use right in the moment philosophy. But all these different angles of philosophy will give you the tactical abilities to have better thinking and be better on a daily basis. Reason number 2 to always be updating and repeating and revising and studying philosophy is values. Your own values. Your values will probably change on a number of occasions as you grow in life. What you once felt was super important might change, but real, hardcore, true, foundational values typically stay the same, but you will adjust them throughout your life depending on new ideas and new philosophies that you come across. With philosophy and with understanding values, you'll be able to articulate what your values are and why you believe in what you believe. I don't know about you, but I've had many conversations with people throughout my life that when you push them on why they believe such a thing, they have very shallow, top of the iceberg opinions or facts or theories to back up why they believe. And when you come at them with good questioning, they don't actually really believe what they believe, it's just an opinion. And this is where philosophy can actually really help you back up what your true beliefs are with actual philosophical statements and quotes and ideas, that if you are in a conversation with somebody and somebody asks you why you have these types of values, that you are able to enter into an intellectual, or not just an intellectual, but a conversation with a person where your ideas actually have some factual backing over just a BuzzFeed headline style opinion. A lead on from understanding your values is that you'll also have sound reasons on why and what you care about. Why and what you care about is a huge thing. With values, they lead you to understand what's important to you and why it's important to you. Your family, your job, your interests, your passions. You actually get to synthesize or refine and really drill down to what truly matters to you. And philosophy has really helped me do that. In particular, Stoicism. I'll talk about that at the end of the video. I've mentioned it in my guide, Tactical Stoicism. That was my gateway drug into philosophy. And what I actually discovered by reading the Stoic Masters was that it actually helped me figure out my why, but also what I cared about in life. And to finish off this point, little clarifying statement that I've kind of covered already, but philosophy brings clarity to life's foundations. You really understand why those foundations are there once you've studied philosophy. And the great thing about learning philosophy and coming back to it and always dipping your toe into the pool of philosophy is that those foundations will only get stronger. You may have to tear one foundation down once or twice in your life to rebuild a new foundation, but that's just the nature of construction. That's just the nature of reshaping yourself. You're not only the marble, you are the sculptor as well. You have to chip away at something that you don't want to be there for you to create something that you do want to be there. The third point, why you should always read philosophy, is your worldview. Very similar to values, they kind of tie into each other. You'll be able to articulate your beliefs and your ideas about what kind of world this is, the kind of world that you're living in. And most importantly, leading on from that, you'll know what is of greatest value to you in life and what type of life is worth pursuing. That last line is what I'm going to focus on here a little bit. The type of life that is worth pursuing. Just want to let that steep for a second in the air. Type of life that is worth pursuing. What is that to you? What kind of life do you want to pursue? Now, for me, again, going back to Stoicism, going back to some of the Greek philosophy, going back to some of the more ancient philosophy, it helped me understand that I wanted to pursue a life that was simple yet effective. You know, that stoic kind of idea of, I already have enough, but I still want to pursue and be better. I don't want flashy cars just because I want the external look of it. I don't want flashy toys to show off to people, because the type of life I've decided it's worth pursuing is a life of internal power, internal pleasure, in the sense that I get my self-worth from what I do each day, not from the car I drive, the clothes I wear, or where I went on holiday last year. Now, all those things are great, and if you're swimming in cash, drive an expensive car, wear cool, expensive clothes, go on fantastic trips. But if you're struggling paycheck to paycheck, the life that is worth pursuing should be a hell of a lot more stoic than your current life that you're pursuing. You'll get more out of it, and with discipline, and with less spending, you'll actually have a happier life. The fourth reason is the art of study. I'm a big fan of this idea. I have my newsletter that you can sign up for. It's called Study, Practice, Teach. I'll put the links below. If you happen to purchase a copy of my Tactical Stoicism, you'll automatically become part of that email list. But study is really where you need to start. And philosophy has helped me understand how to study better. Philosophy is best read with a journal close by and a highlighter in hand. You really need to get into philosophy, and that's something that I've learned, writing down the quotes, the ideas in the journal, even putting them out on Twitter, putting them out on YouTube videos, like getting the idea, talking about them, repeating them, learning them, practicing them my day to day, and actually studying the art, and actually then teaching them to people, and then coming back around to studying them, and then practicing. And as you read and complete books, you gain a sense of accomplishment. It's just the way life is, the way the world works. Yes, finishing a book isn't making you more money, but the ideas that you journaled about in the book, the ideas that you discussed, the ideas that you tried to then explain in a video, in a webinar, in a tweet, whatever it could be, whatever you're then putting out into the world, whatever you're creating, you're learning twice by teaching, and that content output that you're doing can lead to clearer thinking, which can lead to better conversations in meetings, can lead to better conversations with clients or people that you're trying to sell things to, or it just feeds into it that even though just reading a book itself isn't going to make your life better, but the studying of the book and the practicing of the book will. And that's what you really need to get out of philosophy. And that's what philosophy taught me. Study, practice, teach. It came out of me reading philosophy. It came out of me understanding the art of getting better in life through reading a multitude of different styles of philosophy from different time periods. I've really found that while there is a lot of mental, conceptual ideas in philosophy, and you can get lost in it, sitting on your sofa, pondering the world, asking yourself questions that you get from the page. And that's one of the reasons why I'm a big fan of the Stoics, Greek and Roman philosophies, because there's a lot more tactical stuff in there. Yes, when you're reading Nietzsche and you're reading Kant and other people, there is tactical stuff that you can pick from their book, ideas that you can learn. But I've also found that with later philosophy, it's very thinky. It's changing your mindset, changing your worldview, asking bigger questions about why or how, but yet the art of study has of in particular Stoicism and Roman Greek philosophy, and referring back to that actually, the study of that actually made me realize that action is really, really important. And to wrap up this fourth point, to understand all the ideas in philosophy makes you or forces you to become a better learner. If you really want to grasp some of the more detailed ideas that are being placed in front of you when you're reading philosophy, you need to actually understand what they're saying to you, which forces you to go off and look in other areas so you actually understand the concepts that are being laid out in front of you. So you actually have to work out ways to learn better, understand, and move your mindset forward. And in essence, it does make you a better person. Point 5 for me here really rolls into the back of point 4. The art of study moves in here to keep your mindset sharp. I talked about that with the study. I talked about it making you a better person. We're talking about how it can get you to really think about ideas and then use them practically in the world. Philosophy has intellectual challenges everywhere, from Plato to Kant, like I just discussed, like I was just mentioning about. There are ideas that will make you think in a clearer manner, or force you to actually clarify what's being taught to you, to journal it, to create a video, a blog post, to write out your ideas, put them in the world, get feedback from people who may disagree or agree with what you're saying, start that conversation, get into the weeds with people, and actually really get a firm grip on what's being discussed. And that keeps your mind sharp. You will come across ideas that will challenge your thinking and make you see the world from different angles. Brilliant. I love anything that does that. Those paradigm shifts. You know, once your mind grows, it never shrinks again. You've opened the new door into your mind. You're opening a new door into the world. You can't close that door, lock it up, and forget it's there. It's there, and that's a great feeling. I've had so many of those shifts in my life. And the more you read philosophy, the more shifts you probably will have, or not probably, you will. And through challenges, we grow, and philosophy will offer you much growth. If you really want to challenge your thinking in the world, read philosophy daily, weekly, monthly, and keep coming back to the big books. Find a couple of philosophers that you like and rotate around their top book. You know, Nietzsche one month, Marcus Aurelius the next, Kant after that, whoever it is for you. Find the ideas that resonate with you and reread them, because like I said at the start of this webinar episode, whatever way you want to frame it, you never stand in the same river twice. So if you're reading these ideas repeatedly and giving yourself months or years in between reading them, you'll always get new lessons from them. You'll always keep your mindset sharp. You'll always be the tip of the spear, sharpened, ready to go into battle, ready to go into war, whatever that might be, whatever an analogy that works for you about being sharp and being ready for the world and for reality. Philosophy helps you stay ahead of the game. Point 6. One of my favorite points about philosophy. Philosophy is history. So in the past, it predicts the future. Wisdom from the past that predicts the future. Philosophy is as old as we are as humans. You could argue that there was only philosophy to study people's nature before the social sciences. Before they broke off and created your psychology and other areas of interest, it was philosophy where people were looking into the human nature, looking into the mind, looking into how to get better. Again, referring back to Stoicism, the Greeks, and that ancient philosophy. I've said this before and I'll say it again. It's the original personal development philosophy. It is back 2,000 plus years ago. Zeno and Epictetus and Seneca were telling people how to be better in their lives, how to actually conduct themselves in a way that made their lives better. And 2,000 plus years later, we're reading this stuff and we're still getting those lessons. So the wisdom from the past predicts the future. It is wisdom that has stood the test of time. They noticed the way that humans went about their business back then, and humans have continued to go about their business the same. We don't change. Yes, we have iPhones, we have satellites, we have Elon Musk trying to take us to Mars. Amazing leap forwards when it comes to technology and the world. But essentially, the human brain, the human mind, is pretty much at the same level. And even some people would argue that with the advancements in technology, that we're not as sharp as we used to be, because we don't use our brain critically like we used to, in a sense of remembering facts and phone numbers and routes to places that we don't go to too often. So here you go. Here's philosophy right there, talking about sharpening your mind in the last point, talking about making you a better student, the art of study. This all leans into predicting the future. If you want to have a better future, you take action on the philosophy that you're learning. Humans have a talent of repeating past mistakes, like history does. Philosophy can help you see your blind spots. You can read a chapter from Marcus Aurelius, a chapter from Plato, Socrates. You can actually read stuff and you can actually see your faults. Oh my God, I did that. Oh shit, I fell down that ego trap. I did that. But yet you can then take those lessons, and the next time you're getting angry, you're like, okay, so the wisdom from the past is going to tell me that if I don't take on this learning, I'm going to repeat my past. So the way to predict your own future is to take action on the lessons and become a better person. Wisdom from the past, predicting the future, philosophy. Embrace it, enjoy it, learn it. The seventh and final point that we're going to discuss on why you should read philosophy your whole life and not just once is memento mori. Our days will end and the clock is ticking. We don't know when, but nothing entitles you to a given number of days. Your life will come to a close. Every day is a special day. You need to make each day count. Philosophy, and in particular Stoicism, helps you realize this. Memento mori is a huge component of Stoicism. I've discussed this before in different videos that I've put out, different tweets that I've put out, different content that I've put out. This idea I discovered in philosophy. It's been life-changing for me to think to myself on a daily basis that, time is running out. Scarcity. You're influencing yourself to take action on your bigger, better life with scarcity, because everybody has a finite number of heartbeats. And I never really got that. And maybe it comes with growth, maybe it comes with getting older, but I know plenty of people my age that still haven't realized this. I know plenty of people older than me that still act like they're 20, still act like time's on their side. But time's never on your side. I don't even think when you're in your 20s time is on your side, but you can enjoy life. I'm not saying don't enjoy life, don't have fun, don't party, don't do stuff like that. No, that's not what I'm trying to say. It's like, but time's never on your side. Time's always working against you. But with action, with philosophy, with understanding that time is running out, and you look to grow, get better, implement, learn, study, practice, teach, and just keep going through that cycle and keep moving forward, you bend time to your will, because you're able to predict your future by understanding what's important to you and then taking the lessons from philosophy and not making the mistakes of people in the past. And you're able to get to your goals quicker. You're able to get to the finishing line faster because of memento mori. Because you understand that time is finite. And with the time that you have, you're going to use it in an excellent manner that allows you to become the best version of yourself. Philosophy really is the love of wisdom in life. If you love life, if you love learning, if you love wisdom, if you love thinking about getting smarter, thinking about getting better, philosophy is the love of wisdom in life. You can explore philosophy with my guide, Tactical Stoicism. Check the links below in the description. That link also has a nice little 20% off discount if you want to go ahead and click that. Check out the reviews, all 5-star reviews. A lot of good feedback from customers who have picked it up before, and I've put that on the sales page if you want to go and check it out. Tactical Stoicism, my journey with one of the most influential philosophies that you can get into. And if you're starting out, it's a great place to start. If you're deep into Stoicism, you'll probably really enjoy reading my personal story, because it is the action and practical application of Stoicism in my life. Thank you for watching to this part of the video. I really do appreciate it. I will put a ton of links in the description below to my Twitter page, my success theory, to Tactical Stoicism, which I just discussed, to my website as well. If you are a subscriber, thank you very much for being a subscriber. If you're not, why don't you hit that subscribe button and also hit that like button and share this video out so other people can understand why you should read philosophy your whole life and not just once. Thank you again. Make it a good one.